What's going on, guys? B Scott, I'm here with
Godzilla.
And on today's show, we got your Super Bowl preview heading in to Super Bowl weekend. We got the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals going to duke it out ahead of Super Bowl 56, and we're going to give you our best predictions based on our knowledge of the game heading into the weekend.
Yeah, we are finally here, finally made it to the Super Bowl, and this is the big one for us. So with the Super Bowl 56 at hand, I know the golden question is, can Sean McVay get over the hump with the accusation of Matthew Stafford? Can they both get over the hump? Or will Joe Burrow be the third player in NFL history to win a national championship and a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Stay right here. We got it for you.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back. B Scott, God here, and we're going through the Super Bowl prediction. We're 3 days away from the Super Bowl. It all boils down to this one game.
Yeah.
And honestly, we missed a couple of the playoff weeks, and the Cincinnati Bengals, outstanding stretch run they've been on. Really beating some pretty good teams, come back against Kansas City Chiefs. And what can you say about the Rams? They've played well enough through the playoffs. They've also beat some good teams. Tampa Bay, especially, that was a great win. And the Niners, they finally got it done. Sean McVay, 0-6 against them in the last 6 games. Finally got the win, and now we're here. They're going to be playing each other in the Super Bowl, and we're going to give you, to our best knowledge, our opinions, based on the facts that we have, who's going to win the football game and why.
Yeah. You're looking into this game, and it's crazy. There's a lot of things leading up to this game and the familiarities that these teams have. You know what I mean? We got Von Miller, who's already been a Super Bowl MVP the last time Denver went to the Super Bowl. And, that's crazy. And then you look on the other side of the ball, the experience in the Super Bowl. And we got Zach Taylor, who was on the Super Bowl team of the LA Rams as the quarterback's coach. So he knows this team and what they really want to do in that system very well. I think if you look at all the stats combined, you know what I mean? Like how close they are realistically in every category. This is going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why the spread is only at 4 right now. You know what I mean? The money line 195 favoring the Rams. For them to be in SoFi, you would think that they have a really big advantage on these lines and these numbers, but they don't. And I think that the bookmakers are making it close because it really is going to be close in this one. And you're looking at, opening it up at 50.5, and now it's at 48. I mean, this could be a McPherson type of situation where they just take it home and, on a field goal, you know what I'm saying? And there's odds to where you might want to take McPherson to be the Super Bowl MVP, you know what I'm saying? Just a kicker. I know that that's not really orthodox in how these things go, but the last time we seen the Rams, they were in the field goal game in the Super Bowl. So this is going to be a crazy one. What you got?
I'll tell you right now, it's 48.5 is the over-under. The Rams are favored by 4 in the game. Look, personally, I think the Rams are more experienced. We know this, especially on the defensive line, which is important against a bad front of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Their offensive line has not played good, albeit played solid enough against the Chiefs to hold them off. But you've seen it against Tennessee Titans, 9 sacks, and Burrow still pulled off the victory. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of adversity to come back from.
Yeah.
But this offensive line is stout. Aaron Donald, you got Von Miller, we already know, like you mentioned, the MVP, Super Bowl MVP. We also got Floyd on the other side. So they have a lot of good pass rushers to get after Joe Burrow. That's where I think this game could change. I think the Los Angeles Rams could get ahead in this game. They have been very hot out the gate. So I think they're going to get up. The Bengals have struggled out the gate a little bit. And we talked about it a little bit with the Kansas City Chiefs matchup, where I worried that if the Kansas City Chiefs got up on the Bengals, if the Bengals could actually get back into it. And they did. We saw it.
Yeah, so, I told you, I think that any game, they can shoot it out with anybody and be able to come back. We've seen this from them, especially earlier in the season against Jacksonville at home. You know what I mean? They gave the first half to Jacksonville, but came back to win that game. And, we've seen them do this time and time again, as you mentioned, against Kansas City Chiefs in this last round. I don't know, man. I really have a suspect feeling that it's going to come down to who can control the ball without turning the ball over as much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you look at each team's strengths and weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? I feel like each team can build off each team's strength. You know what I'm saying? You look at the pass rush, like you said, Joe Burrow sacked 50 times this year. You know what I'm saying? And
most in the league, I want to say. Yeah.
I think there's a stat out there that in the Super Bowl this year, this is the first time a quarterback or offense has been sacked 50 times, and they got 50 sacks from the defense as well. So, you know what I mean? With him still being here, that has to be scary for these Rams and this defensive front to try to put on a stop against Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? We're looking at the situation where on the other side of this defense, they're number one in dropping back 8. You know what I'm saying? Playing the zone coverage. And we know that Matthew Stafford plays absolutely terrible against zone coverage. 14 touchdowns and 16 interceptions against zone coverage this year. That's not very good.
Yeah.
And I think for them to win this game, he's going to have to execute this game plan and play on Cincinnati's slow starts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They've been starting slow, but the point differential in the first half is 13.3 for the LA Rams to 12.6. I mean, we're looking at 1 point, less than 1 point in the first half. So I think this is going to be a really tight one. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it, and with the coaching experience with Zach Taylor already being on that team, I'm leaning towards more Cincinnati's going to come out here and win this game. And the only way that I wouldn't just lock it in there is it just because it's at SoFi. You know what I'm saying? Even though the LA Rams is supposed to be the away team in this game, they're at home, you know what I mean, in SoFi Stadium. And we looked at last year and how Tampa Bay performed at home in that Super Bowl. It was like, you know, they came out there like the world champ.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I'm
course.
saying? They just felt like they already had it.
Yes.
So that's what I worry about is the confidence level. But like I said, Joe Burrow, he's been in the national championship, won a national championship, won a Heisman, #1 pick overall. He has been in these big moments, and I don't think that this moment is too big for him in this game. I said that in the wild card game. You look at all these quarterbacks that were coming out. These guys have been in these spots. So, you know, yes, on paper, you look at this LA Rams defense, they have playmakers to the ball, but so do the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
And I think that if they can rush Henderson and Hubbard and these guys, rush 3 and get at Stafford and make him turn the ball over and get short fields, we got McPherson to capitalize on these turnovers, you know what I'm saying, to get these short fields done. Another thing, the offensive game plan for the Cincinnati Bengals, they're going to have to get rid of this ball very quickly, you know what I'm saying? So you look at the LA Rams, they're not going to man up on Jamar Chase. They don't play that way. They play a lot of zone, and, you know, I think that you look at the other wide receivers, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. T. Higgins is really huge, 6'4", got the speed. This guy, he breaks secondaries down a lot for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be key on the outside when he's facing Williams, and also the other undersized cornerback, the slot cornerback, which will have a matchup against Tyler Boyd. I think that they could beat the LA Rams in this aspect. You look at how Deebo Samuel and Ayuk was doing it in the round before. You know what I'm saying? So the key to this is Joe Burrow not making the right decision, getting rid of the ball instead of holding on to it so much, looking for that big play with Jamar Chase, and just executing. For the other side, Stafford, I think they have to run the ball a little bit effectively, knowing that they're only going to rush 3. They have to run the ball in spots because we don't know if Darrell Henderson is in this game. But looking in these playoff rounds, they've given up production to a trio of running backs. You know what I'm saying? Multiple running backs, not just one. So where Cincinnati struggles at is against the play action. So we'd expect the LA Rams to come out on first downs running as they already do, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully they don't get into a neutral stance where they're just completely running the ball and not throwing the play action. You know what I'm saying? So it's a toss-up to me. I'm taking Cincinnati Bengals. I got a score, 27-23, Cincinnati.
Yeah, coming into the game, I had the same feeling. I really feel like the Rams should win this game. I really do. Just on paper, the way the team aspects, the experience. I mean, they match up with this team neck and neck, and they have experience, and they have elite playmakers at all levels. So it's like, this feels like the Rams should win this game. But for some reason,
I'm telling you,
it's hard to count the Bengals out considering what they did against the Chiefs and coming back. The adversity they faced against Tennessee Titans. I want to say since week 15 or week 16 of the regular season into the playoffs, no team leads the turnover differential more than the Cincinnati Bengals. So Joe Burrow's not making mistakes. They're not turning the ball over that much.
Yeah.
But they are giving up a little bit of run. Look through the stats of the playoffs. They've allowed one or two running backs in each system to average 5 yards per carry or more in their playoff games. The Rams have actually struggled to run the football in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but if they could get right, we know they got the running backs that can do it. So that's the thing. If they're able to be effective at running the football, they're not going to be able to just rush three. They're going to have to start mixing up that inside and dropping those guys. And we know the play action is there, and Stafford can thrive off it, and Cooper Kupp and OBJ both can eat into zone coverages.
Yeah, they can. They'll find that gap easily. Another big part of this for me was like in the regular season, the Rams. You know what I mean? Especially before Akers, when Darrell Henderson was there, he was a great weapon. Just period, catching the ball, running the ball. He was very effective, and in the red zone, he was very effective catching the ball and getting to these touchdowns. It was week in and week out where we seen Darrell Henderson getting 1 or 2 touchdowns easily. Also, Tyler Higbee maybe not being in this game available for the red zone. That draws a really big problem. That means that these touchdowns are going to come from outside of the 20. These are deeper touchdowns, and them dropping back those 8 guys, that's going to be a hard thing to do. That's why I think that this can ultimately be a lower scoring type of game. So, it's going to be a tough one. I'm excited to see it, but I don't know. The Rams, yes, they can win this game. You know what I mean? Make no point about it. I really think the Rams can come away with this game, and they probably do. But for the value of betting, I mean, the plus 160, I'm just going to take that.
Yeah, on the plus 4.
Yeah, I'm going to just take that with the Cincinnati Bengals, knowing what they've been, knowing the adversity they've faced, knowing that the quarterback has been sacked multiple times, and we know that the LA Rams, that's what they are the marquee on that defense, is that that defensive line getting those sacks. And for him to be able to, go through that kind of adversity with being sacked that much, and have no memory on it.
That's absolutely true.
I feel like, how are they going to beat them?
Of course. I mean, look at it. If Joe Burrow gets sacked 5+ times, they're not going to win this game. You know what I mean? There's just no way. It's going to be very tough. Unless the turnovers. Like I said, we know Stafford has made mistakes. Stafford should have been picked off once again against the 49ers. You know what I mean? So it seems like every game he makes 1 or 2 just terrible throws, which don't even make sense. Just throwing up prayers. But for me, I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I like the plus 4 personally, but I just think you talked about it and we talked about this a little bit. The underdog story. Yeah. It's been all season long.
Everything that made sense this year did not happen.
Exactly. So for me, I got to lean with Cincinnati Bengals in the Cinderella story. Joe Burrow's comeback season. Jamar Chase breaks records, and the Cincinnati Bengals pull off the upset and win the Super Bowl.
Man, that's crazy. I got that the same way too. I really, don't get it wrong, I really think the Rams can win this game. But I'm going with the trend of the Joes. Joe Montana, Joe Namath, the only 2 guys that won a national championship and a Super Bowl. I think the next one will be Smoking Joe, smoking that cigar at the end. And Zach Taylor, 38 years old. Yeah. Sean McVay, 36. We got the youngest group in the history of the Super Bowl to coach a game. I think this is going to be a wild one. You know what I mean? There could be multiple pass attempts from guys. You know what I'm saying? You look at Odell, Cooper Kupp. They've thrown the ball in games this year. So, you know what I mean? All those kind of props are out there. You should be taking advantage of them. Man, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. At least I do for sure, money line.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Rams can win this game, but you know what I mean? Yeah. I just feel like the way it's looking on paper, man.
Yeah, I got 23-21 Cincinnati.
Oh,
that's the score that I got. And I'm on the same boat as you. I personally think the Rams should win this game pretty handily, and I think they can. They have a lot of experience and a lot of talented playmakers on both sides of the ball. But the Bengals have just played sound football.
Yep.
So
for sure.
That's it. That's our Super Bowl prediction. 3 days away. Excited just like many of you. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, and then comment. You want to talk about your favorite team or the teams in the Super Bowl, drop in the comment section.
Yeah, and this is the Super Bowl, so this is the last show of the NFL season, but it's not over.
Oh, no.
We'll have plenty more content for you, uncuts, all kind of stuff like that. So keep it right here. Cincinnati Bengals, Smoking Joe, let's go get it.